All right, welcome to Here for the Horses. Glad you're here for the horses. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, to be honest with you. Let's see, I wrote it down so I'd stay organized. Um, we're going to talk about, I'm going to ask your guys' opinion. So I want to know what you guys think about this. So feel free, for those of you that are not on camera, you can definitely put your camera on or raise your hand. I want to run something by you guys and see what you think about it. It's just something that made me go, today. Okay. So we're going to look at that. We're going to take a look at the homework. Alexandra, you can't hear me? Can everybody else hear me? Yeah, I think it's you. Okay. Um, oh, Jen's here. So then we're going to talk about the homework from this week, and I have two videos that I want to show that were just special, just special videos. So I thought that would be cool. And then we will go over this week's homework, okay? And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about something I have coming up. I don't have details, but I'm just going to let you know about it because it's going to be pretty cool. I hope. I hope it's cool. But I think a lot of you are going to be really interested in it. And it's going to be a lot of work for me, but it's kind of something I have to do at this point in time. So it should be good. Okay. I'm still letting some people in here. Hold on. Okay. So let's first, and then if um bup, 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 bup. Amy? Yeah. If Amy pops on, I had recommended a hair test analysis for a gambler, and she got the results back. So we'll go over that. Ah, there
Fun.
she is. There she is.
Multitasking.
Amy, do you want to go over it now?
Yeah, because my phone's
Okay, let's
about
do
to
it.
die.
Go for it.
Yeah, so you had noticed he was really stiff no matter what I was doing with him, and I got the results back. He is low in magnesium, selenium, and phosphorus, and he's high in aluminum and iron. So you were spot on. So thank you. I really appreciate it. So I just talked to her last night. We're going to start some phosphorus. We're going to start kelp with him. We did apple cider vinegar and he accepted it. If he didn't, we're going to do a probiotic. I wasn't able to watch that recording with I forget his name,
Russ
but
Paulson.
yeah, I would like to because I would
Yeah.
maybe like to use some of his products. And then after 90 days, we're going to detoxify him. So
Oh,
we want
cool.
to, you were right. Yeah, deficiencies first. So, and she's really natural with everything. So we go for more natural approaches.
Sure,
But
absolutely.
it's so worth the money. I completely now all these people at the barn are like, I want to do it. Where they
I
made fun
know.
of me at first, and now they're like, wait, maybe that's why my horse is acting up or kind of stiff. And I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, and just the massage with his leg, it's just incredible what it's done.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy for him. So I'm going to redo, like you said, when we're done, redo the whole thing with his deficiencies to see if
Yeah.
that does wonders for him. So,
Yeah. Let me
yeah.
grab something. Hold on real quick.
Okay.
So Amy went through a different company than I
Yeah.
do, but I actually gave her, when she told me what he was deficient in, what I was able to do was just show. So tell me what he was deficient in again.
Magnesium, phosphorus, and selenium.
Yeah, okay. So let me read something. Magnesium. Okay. Oh, mine was toxic here. Hold on. I have all my horses done. Normal. So DePaulo has this great these hair test analysis things. And what's cool about his is you can read everything about it. And so if your horse is toxic, oh, phosphorus, okay. So if
Hmm.
your horse is toxic in phosphorus, is excessive tissue breakdown. Okay, so phosphorus is critical for bones, teeth, energy production, and cell membrane function. Phosphorus regulates calcium and magnesium or vitamin D and is essential for proper utilizations of minerals like iron, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. It aids in
Yeah.
okay, so on and on and on. So it's so cool to read everything that these minerals, have to do. It's so important. And what
Yeah.
happens is that, if you're deficient in certain vitamins and minerals, what happens is your body cannot absorb, it's called malabsorption syndrome. It cannot absorb the nutrients it needs no matter what you're feeding. So, we're
Hmm.
pumping a bunch of money and a bunch of food in these horses and they're not able to absorb it. So, I just thought it was really interesting to kind of watch that and kind of see that. And I have recommended that to a couple other people that I've seen. Just a lot of the time and I'll share this right now actually. So by sight, I can generally tell when there's something going on because of the coat. Okay, if the coat looks dull, and his kind of look dull, and
Hmm.
also if it looks splotchy. So if it's like some of it is shed out, but some of it is not, that's normally a nutritional issue. Okay. And even people say, well, that's worms. Well, what are worms? It becomes a nutritional issue, right? Because the worms take the nutrition. Okay. Um,
You also
so the
noticed he
looks,
looked lethargic too.
yeah.
You said he looked
That's
really,
the other thing is the
hmm,
the lethargy. It's like you could
yeah.
tell he was not acting the way that I think naturally he would like to act. Like, just like when a person is tired or really lethargic, you can kind of tell they're just not quite with it. And that's what I
Hmm.
got from him and then a couple other horses. And that was how my gelding was, which was originally why I started doing that. But what's really cool is when they start getting those vitamins and minerals, it improves fast. So that's really exciting. And then to get the toxicity of heavy metals out, you have to do chelation. And that takes a
Hmm.
while. So that takes a full year for it to show up in the hair. But yeah, super cool, really, really nice to be able to. I mean, he's going to feel better right away. So it's going to be so
Yeah.
great.
So I'm going to take pictures once a week. She wants me to
Yeah.
send her that for a few months and then I can show you, let you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course, I
I'm
want to see
excited.
that.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that you have pictures. So if you go back through any of our
Hmm.
videos, you can screenshot anything. That's what I've done so
Yeah.
much. So
Uh-huh. It's
it's like you
exciting.
already have proof that one, massage helps. Because,
Yeah.
when you got him, I'm sure his nutrition improved dramatically.
Yeah,
But
he was pretty bad when
yeah,
we just
I
got him
I
in
bet.
December. So he's a new horse to
Exactly.
us and he's
Yes.
18. So he's
Yeah.
been there, done that.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah.
So, you're just gonna have this beautiful photo gallery of what he was and what he's become.
Hmm.
It's gonna be really exciting. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for
Thank
sharing that with us,
you.
Amy.
Yes,
I
thank
appreciate it.
you. Okay.
Yeah. She was out riding today. Okay. Let me share something with you guys because I found it really interesting. So there was a post, and I'll share the post with you first. Let me pull it up. I mean, it's one of those posts where you're like, yeah, okay. There's no real big, let me find it first. It's nothing profound, right? But, you're kind of looking at it. But I had a little bit of a issue with some of the other stuff. Okay. So the I'm going to share the screen. You guys can read it on your own. Oops, hold on. Share screen. Okay, so this is from a guy named Bob Wood, Horses for Life. I don't follow him super strong, but I follow him for some reason, so he must have done something. So he was just talking here about riding horses is by far a physical activity. What riders call feel is a physical sensation. You cannot improve or fix something in a horse or yourself when you have limited or no feel. The biggest distraction from feel are emotions and thoughts. To ride well, we must let go of our thoughts and emotions and have our awareness primarily in our physical body in order to feel our horses and how we are balanced and moving with them. I realize that many of today's riders and horse owners board or ride lesson horses and that they have limited riding time. That doesn't matter. What matters is that whoops, sorry, I gotta let somebody in here. Oops, never mind. What matters is that every moment you're in the saddle, you experience a physical feel of the experience. Riders must develop the discipline of compartmentalizing their thoughts and feelings when riding. They ever have the hope to become a more effective rider. Okay. So, let's be honest. Okay. That sounds really good, doesn't it? I mean, doesn't it? That sounds pretty awesome. I mean, you go, oh yeah, totally. Um, but then and I'll show you another part of it too, because there's another part that goes with it. This is the photo they had with the post. Okay. So typical US writer in the 1950s and 60s. Typical US writer in 2010, 2020. Emotional, intellectual, physical, physical, intellectual, emotional. And I was just kind of like, well, one, that's going to depend on the rider, probably. So my comment to that was, I mean, when you hear that, you go, yeah, that's true, right? Sure. You have to have a physical connection with the horse, and you can't let your emotions take over everything. My comment to it, though, was, well, that's easy to say and not very easy to do, especially for anyone who's ever been hurt or bucked off a horse. Okay? It can become a real problem. It can become very, very hard. Okay. So, that's what I commented. All right. And then he gave a response, which I thought was very interesting, and I want to get your guys' opinion on it. Let me find it again here. Okay. So my response was, that's pretty easy to say, not so easy to do, which he thumbs up. And then he wrote, riding is not a hobby, it's a sport, and sports require disciplined work. So, what do you guys think about that statement? Anybody got any opinions? Go ahead, Steph.
I think maybe I can see both sides.
Yeah.
Like for me doing my reining, it's definitely physical for me personally. And this year I've tried to really approach it like a sport, trying to really get my body in shape to make sure that my muscles, my quads are firing so that, 5 minutes doesn't sound like a long time, but 5 minutes of intense riding,
Heck yeah.
you feel it.
I'm huffing and puffing.
Exactly, exactly. But I think maybe if you were pleasure riding, and I don't mean to downplay trail riding, but that's the only thing I can think of it off the top of my head. But trail riding, I mean, you definitely have to feel the horse if they're sensing, they're smelling something, so you don't get hurt. But it's not at that next level. I guess that's what I would say. I mean, you have to be on the horse and riding, otherwise, an accident is going to startle you. But I think
Yeah.
there's different degrees of what he's saying as a
I
sport.
agree totally. Like to say that riding horses is not a hobby, I disagree. It's not a hobby for some people. It's all business for some people. I mean, some people don't even really enjoy it anymore. It's all business. Some people it's a sport, but to say it's not a hobby, I'm like, it's a hobby. It can certainly be a hobby. And that's not saying that you don't need to be fit for your hobby, you know. It's kind of an odd statement. What else do you guys think? Anybody else? Yeah, Leanne.
Well, I think I ride my horses as a hobby. I didn't start riding until I was in my 50s. I mean, I rode as a child, but really in my 50s. And at that point, I wasn't going to compete. I wasn't going to do any big thing. But you have to be able to be balanced. Okay. And I think we had that lady who, I can't remember her name, but she gave us some exercises on, helping your balance.
Oh yeah.
And if you're not balanced, I don't care how often or not often you ride a horse or how physical, you could get hurt. So I think from that standpoint, I've had a lot of people on my horses who do not have balance, and I would not trust them on a trail. I would not trust them without
Yeah.
somebody leading the horse. So I think, as Stephanie said, there's levels, but you can't just say, oh, I'm going to ride my horse and not do prep work, not get ready for it. And trail riding can be very dangerous because we have deer, bear, fox, whatever out in the woods, turkeys, for heaven's sakes, and,
Guineas.
and guineas, mountain lions. And so you've
Yeah.
got to be ready to control your horse. And so it means paying attention. Um, so I don't, I mean, what he says seems harsh. Like, if you're not going to be an athlete, don't do it. But I think that there's an awareness you have to have. And as we get older, our physical abilities change. I mean, frankly,
Yeah.
there's things I did young that I'm not going to do today, and I'm praying my horse doesn't do them today. But I think that there's truth in that statement, but it seems a little harsh comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, we use discipline for our benefit and our horses. Yeah. I mean, I would much rather ride horses and be fit than ride horses and not be fit. But um I think just the statement of saying that riding horses is not a hobby, I just had a problem with that. It's not a hobby for some people, like I said, which is fine. Um, I think it can be a hobby, but you cannot ask or expect your horse to do what you can't do. Yeah, totally. Lee said my hackles went up right away, but then I do get that competition seems to place people in a different space. Yeah, and that's the space that he's come from is competition. So, I mean, it's not a hobby for him, you know, but I don't know. It was kind of an interesting statement. All right, cool. Let's see. So let's talk about homework from last week was super exciting. Okay. Alexander says he's pretty old school. Yeah, I could tell by that. I think I did like it because he put up a post about something, um, I don't know, it was a funny meme, and I think I probably shared it with you guys. It was just something funny. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then Martha says we all need to be in shape to do any sport hobby therapy. Yep. Now there is a relationship with your horse, and for us hobby riders, that is emotional, totally. I have known ropers that only regard their animal as a tool. I know all these differences make the world go round. It seems pretty, yeah, I agree. I often wondered if wished more people did ride them for just a hobby. Well, yeah, I bet. That's funny. Okay, so homework from this week. I wanted to share some videos. I did not pull them up yet, but that won't take long. Hold on a second. Did you guys notice that Enumclaw was in the national news again? Stolen horse. Someone stole a horse out of somebody's barn at 2 o'clock in the morning. I actually know the person, and what's extra sad is that she had just died from a really long battle of cancer. And so that's why it was her husband on there that was talking, and it was her show horse. And Melinda Cito, a lot of you guys know her, was pretty good friends with her. So, and it's right literally um, less than half a mile away from my house. So they did find the little horse in some freaking dump trap. And I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure I've been there before. I'm pretty sure if I haven't been to that exact property, it's a property that is very close to that property because along these power lines in Covington are these couple properties that are just garbage dumps and they have animals on them. And my friend bought a horse from a woman who lived there and it was a total, I just looked around and I was like, you gotta be joking me here. So yeah, they found the horse tied up at that property. It was a person that used to work at the barn, of course, right? So they knew the person. I knew they'd find out they knew the person. But what a shame. Let's see, and they haven't given any details out yet about why she did it, but who knows? Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about two videos. One I thought was just super special. It's one of my favorite things, so I wanted to share it with you guys. If this ever happens, you have one for the day. So here we go. Let me find, where did I? Okay, let's start at 133 here. All right, we have Susan and Sam. Butt rub. Gotta move this thing. Susan says his favorite time after. Good. I love that look back. Love it. That's just him completely enjoying this entire process. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. He's like, why did you stop? Remember? Remember what's funny is that before we had to stop, and now he's kind of like, why did you stop? Isn't that amazing? That's what is beautiful about bodywork is when they get used to it, that you can change them from being kind of internal and stoic to being more extroverted. They'll kind of be like, no, keep going, don't stop. You can watch these horses transform from kind of shut down internal to pretty personable, pretty out, pretty what is it called when you're really outgoing? Pretty outgoing. I'm getting dumber as I get older. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Beautiful. He likes that too. Mm-hmm. That's hamstrings. Look, relaxometer's down. Yep. Yeah. Lovely. Oh, he yawned in your hand. Oh my gosh. That is so sweet. It's my favorite. Yes. Oh my gosh. The yawn in your hand or in your face, my favorite things. It's a gift. That's a gift to you. I love that so much. He went out of his way to do that also. Just so you know, he went out of his way to do that. That is so special. Isn't that the coolest? The yawn in the hand is crazy to me. It's like they come around and they give you this gift. And they do it on purpose, and I love it so much. Susan, you're on here. If you want to hop on, unmute yourself and just tell us a little bit about how much he's improved because he is just transforming. I mean, he went from not being able to control his emotions. I mean, and he's very mild. He doesn't like, he's not like blah, but he gets like, oh, he can't control it to like yawning in your hand. That is wild to me. It's so crazy.
What I have discovered is that he needs a pacifier, so he needs a little bit of help. And so when I place my hand and he gets to lick my hand, that's how we finally had a breakthrough with his releases. And he's playing with the stool and he's playing with the rope. And I had to figure that out. He had to tell me, you have 4 layers of clothing on. He needs the top layer to
Oh.
to put his lips on, and it's like you get 1 layer, you don't get all 4, you get one. And when
Mm-hmm.
he's allowed to be mouthy and kind of pull on your sleeve a little bit, he will release. And it just took me a little while to figure that out. It's been a year. I've been working with you for a year now, so this was a big deal.
Yeah, so cool. That's similar to when Cheryl was working on whatever horse. It wasn't Legend, it was Angel. Was that Angel? So yeah, she needed to be in Cheryl's space. Like she needed that little jump start, and a lot of times it is getting mouthy helps. And so that's why I always say bring out your crappy lead rope if they need that. And, it was funny. I watched two horses, Kingston and Adobe, and I just did those videos and put them up. Both of them came around and they need that too. They needed to touch the clothing. Kingston holds on to it. Adobe just comes around and kind of, talks about it. It's so interesting how they need different things to help them. So, a lot of times it's a fidget before release, which I mean, you could put that in there. You could put that under that category if you wanted to. Legend needs a pacifier also. Sometimes the rope, sometimes, yeah, definitely. Cinder also. I mean, there's just quite a few horses that just need to uh, mess around with stuff to help them. And so I do encourage people to not reprimand that because it's very common in the horse world for people to rip that lead rope out of their mouth. And I get it, right? I get it. But when it comes to body work, there are some things that you have to adjust for, and that's one of them. Okay. So, some horses need a pacifier, and man, we should just give it to them, right? It doesn't matter that much. It's not that big of a deal. And all of that diminishes over time too, a lot of the time because they have tension stored and built up in their body. Okay. And as you continue to get the tension out of their body, all those pacifiers and helping tools that they need in order to release go down. It's really cool to watch. Also, if you watch Kingston's video, that horse didn't move his feet. Kingston used to be like, all right, oh man, hold on, let me get it better. He used to be all over when Nancy was massaging him. He didn't move his feet. I was like, this horse has never been so relaxed. Okay. And she's been working on him for a long time too. Havana's chilled out a ton, and this is her first time around. Okay, so it's just exciting. Chester's chilled out a ton. Okay, it's just exciting to watch them just get so much better over time. When the tension comes out of their body, everything gets better. Okay, but it takes a while. You got to stick the process. Okay, so that was Susan and well, it's now called Susan and Sam. And that was just exciting. As you can tell, I got very excited. Let's take a look at, I want to show Jason and Larry today because Sherry, I'll get to that. This was exciting also. And this horse has had quite a turnaround. So similar situation. Oh, I don't know which way I need to go here. I think it's up. Similar situation. So Larry, I always want to call him the opposites, right? Jason's the guy. Larry, the horse, a lot of anxiety. Okay, right? This guy, a lot of movement, insecure, right? Get big. Okay. But he's been doing okay, we have excellent. Jason and let me see the spot. Oh, this is from the beginning. Okay, so this is the glute rub, point of hip, blah blah blah. Here you go. Larry here. Pardon the muddy legs. Yeah. Your pardon. Sometimes I'm like, oh, do I clean them up or not even bother? They're just gonna get them muddy again. There's some jiggle there. Very, very nice. Some emotion. See if a release comes after that. Nope. Look at his little head bobble though. That's funny. Oh, he is cute. Look how cute he is. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I like that. I like that a lot. There you go. Good. See how I put that head down like that for a second? Yeah, good. Give him a little break. Beautiful. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I love how I just checked in with him. He's like, you're making me feel funny, but I'm cool. There's the release. So he probably could have used a little bit more of a break. Oh, look how cute he is. He's so cute. Oh, look at that. You got a yawn. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, look at, here it comes. Look how soft his eye is. Beautiful. This is exciting. I love it. Oh, look at his face. He's so happy. Look how soft his eye is. That's the calmest I've seen his eye. That's for sure. For sure. Beautiful. See those pounds. Those work so good. Lovely. Oh, look at him. That was funny. He's like, I'm gonna spaz out real quick. Okay, well, let's watch again just because I want you to see it. See if a release comes after that. Nope. So that was anxiety, not a fidget before release. Oh, he is cute. Look how cute he is. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I like that. I like that a lot. Pounding. There you go. Good. See how I put that head down like that for a second? Yeah, good. Give him a little break. Beautiful. Oh, that's so sweet. I love it. I love how I just checked in with him. He's like, you're making me feel funny, but I'm cool. There's the release. So he probably could have used a little bit more of a break. Oh, look how cute he is. He's so cute. Look at that. You got a yawn. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Wow, look at, here it comes. Look how soft his eye is. Beautiful. This is exciting. I love it. Oh, look at his face. He's so happy. Look how soft his eye is. That's the calmest I've seen his eye. That's for sure. For sure. Beautiful. Okay. So with this same situation as with Sam, okay? Because Sam came around and was like, I mean, Sam went out of his way. He was standing relaxed, enjoying himself, and he was like, oh no, I need to come over here and smell your hand. And okay, because I'm gonna need that for a release. And then was like, here's your release, blah. It was so awesome. And then little Larry there, he did the old like, enjoying it. It was kind of, he had the little bit of tension, right? Because he gets a little bit of tension, and then he like looked back as like a connection moment and then started releasing. It was so exciting. So I just think that those moments are so wonderful. And Larry's face looks different. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but them eyes are getting darker and bigger and happier. Okay, lot softer. There were a couple moments where, I mean, he looked like a different horse, and that happens a lot when you get tension out of the face and out of the body. Their eyes soften, they get bigger. There was an awesome before and after photo of Bunny that I put up one time that the after photo, her eyes were very bright and beautiful. Okay, and you could definitely see that with Larry. So these moments that we're releasing tension out of their body, and if you guys have watched any of Larry's videos, he's got kind of a lot of anxiety. He's a younger horse. He's got a fair amount of tension in his body, and he's also insecure. So there's a lot of factors that can add up to tension in the body, whether it's emotional or physical, and massage is helping both of them. So he's transforming. He's doing fantastic. Okay. So that was just really fun to watch. I loved it. Any questions about the homework for this last week? The glutes, hamstrings, TFL? Looks pretty good. Okay. Let me tell you what our homework is for this week. Let me grab my, oh yeah. I'll share screen again. You guys can write it down. Boop. We'll go up to the top. So we're doing the same thing that we did. Write these down because this is not the way I have it in the clinic. Okay, so we're doing the hind leg rub, hind leg jostle, inside hind leg, front of the hock, fetlock rub, coronet band, and you can do ting points on your own time. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this. I'll pull up a different, does everybody have that down? It's pinned in the homework, okay? At the top of the page for the coaching community. Okay, so here is my chart. So let's talk about what we're going to be working on. So this area is called the gaskin, right? One thing I want to make sure that you guys, when this can be rock hard on some horses. And you can't necessarily tell which horses it's going to be really tight on. Sometimes you can tell by looking at like, oh, those glutes. You can't necessarily tell by looking at it. So this whole area can be rock hard sometimes. I need you to make sure you go in soft. Okay? Flat, warm hand, warm it up. Do not go in hard on this. And it's not like any of you go in hard, so I'm not really concerned about it. But if this is super tight and you blast in there with like a thumb straight down it or something, it can cause a reaction to kick. Okay. I have not had that reaction before, but that is an area that can cause them to kick if you go in too hot. Okay. Nice and warm, flat, warm hand. Warm it up, do some circles. So first thing you're going to do is some circles. Do the inside and the outside. And what you're doing when you do that is getting information. What information are you gathering? How tight is it? Is the inside tighter than the outside? Is the outside tighter than the inside? Are there any cold spots? Are there any hot spots? Does the skin move? Okay. Where is your hand drawn to? A lot of you guys are so good at that now. It's wild. Because I love these videos where I'm like watching and I'll see something and I'll go, ooh, there looked like there was a spot, and I don't even finish my sentence and you guys go right to that spot I just saw. It's like, yeah, you're so good at it. So, warm it up. What does your hand tell your mind? Okay? What is it? What does your hand want to massage? Half the time My hands do whatever they want. Okay. That takes a while to develop. So if you do not feel like that, don't worry about it. But I see you guys who have been with me for a little while and you're starting to do it on your own. And then I think it's funny when we're supposed to be working on some area of the body and then all of a sudden you're off doing something else. And I'm like, yeah, I would have done that too. I I would have followed that trail down there too. So that's awesome. That's exactly how massage should be. Okay, but don't feel bad if that's not where you're at, okay? Because we all have to learn the moves first. Okay. So we're going to warm it up first. Then what I like to do is you can do the jostle. Okay. I love this one for the gaskin, jostle. Okay. And then what I like to do is going down the muscles. I'll flip my hand over, kind of like when I was talking about going down the ribs. You can flip your hand over and you can trace down the ribs like that, each rib, right? Okay. I like to trace down the gaskin with my fingers. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I kind of think of these muscles as I'm doing it, and I'll trace down this one with my thumb. And then I trace down this one with my thumb. And then I do that one with my thumb. Okay. And I try to find out if there are some that are tighter than the others. Okay. That move, the thumb down the gaskin, works so good. Do not do that before you've done the circles and warmed it up. And start soft and then get more firm. Okay? So big circles first, jostle second, thumb down the muscles. I'm going to talk a little bit about the muscles here in a second. There's only muscles to here as we see. Okay? That means you don't need to pay any attention to anything below there. Wrong. Okay. We aren't going to leave the poor horse only massaged from the hocks and the knee up. We're not going to do that to them. That's why this leg work is so effective because a lot of people do that. Could you imagine just being like massaged down to your ankles and then they don't mess with your feet? I would freak out. Okay. So we're going to do the thumb down there. Okay. And then what's the next move? Oh, inside of the hind leg. Okay, so it looks similar to this muscle, but it's on the inside and it goes all the way down to the hock. Okay, this is my favorite muscle to massage in the hind end because it restricts hind leg range of motion forward so much that if anyone's like, my horse is short-strided or they're just not moving out, I can almost always loosen that inside muscle up on the inside of the hind leg and it improves the situation. Does it fix it? Not always, because a lot of times it's a secondary problem, okay? But it sure does make them feel better. Another thing you'll notice, and we'll talk about this when we do leg range of motion, when we do leg range of motion forward, and if the hock gets pulled in, it's almost always that muscle. Okay. And it's funny. Um, someone had asked me this week about, I think it was Jen. Was it you, Jen? About Masterson method teaches that leg should go midline. Yeah, okay. So Jen was asking, she was saying, I've been looking into Masterson method, and when I'm doing leg range of motion, I want that hind leg to go straight forward. I don't want it going midline. If it goes midline, it's that muscle I was just talking about, or it's the adductors that are too tight. Okay. Um, if you want the leg coming forward to go midline, you're stretching the bicep femoris. Yeah. Okay. So I look at it and I don't know if he teaches that it goes midline. I know that he shows to take it midline sometimes. I was going to ask Sue Hawkins because she's really deep into Masterson method right now. She's getting like multiple certifications. Um, but I think he does teach it to go forward first and straight. And then if you also think about the other thing I was thinking about, when your horse is tracking at a walk, you certainly want them tracking straight. You do not want them tracking midline, right? So if I pull the leg forward and I want a full range of motion, if I want a correct full range of motion, I want the full range of motion straight forward and not pulled to the inside. And then also that when I release that inner muscle, it helps them go straight. So those were kind of my ideas. I don't remember him teaching that he wants it to go midline, but it's been a while, if you know what I mean. But I was looking in the book too, and he shows a picture of the foot going midline, but the horse's hind end was cocked like that because he was also releasing the hip at the same time. So that would make it midline because that would make it lined up. But if the horse is handing straight, then you would want it to go straight. We do hind flexion inferior postures and evaluate where it goes, then wait looking for a drop. Yeah. Yeah, so when the hip drops, that would take it midline more. But I'm going to talk to Sue about it and see what she says. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Keeping the bend in the leg for yeah. Yeah, totally. I think so. I'm gonna double check because it's a good question. And I love Masterson method, so whatever he's uh you know, he's just been doing a great job for horses. So, but I do come from a massage background, so my brain goes muscles. So the muscles are tight on that inside leg. It's going to pull that leg in. It's going to pull the hock in too. Okay. And I don't want that hock being pulled in. I want everything lined up. So yeah, I'll get back to everybody about that. Okay. But yeah, you will see that if that muscle is tight on the inside from the hock going up, yeah, he's cool, Alexandra. He's awesome. And he's such a cool guy to listen to, you know what I mean? Like he's such a, I don't, humble, kind, whatever you want to call it. He's really awesome. I should ask see if he wants to come on here Sunday, wouldn't I? Be a good idea. Um, yeah, so that muscle, release that muscle. If that leg is pulling inward and that hock is pulled inward, you're going to release that muscle on the inside. Okay. So that's the inside. The next one is the hock rub scratch. Okay. Hock rub and scratch. Yeah, that'd be cool, Jen. Send it to me. Literally as easy as it sounds. Scratch it, rub it. They love this. And then also scratch and rub the inside and the outside of the hock. They love it. Yeah. Okay. They love it. And don't be nervous if your horse starts doing this jazz. Where they turn their leg out when you're scratching on the inside. Don't be nervous. They love that. Okay? By the way, this is all the same stuff that you already did on the front legs. Their bones just go the different direction. Okay? So you've already done it. I worded it a little differently. I don't know why I did that. So scratch the hocks. Scratch the hocks. Rub the cannon bones. Loosen the skin. Loosen the skin. Okay? The skin should move equally. Okay? Fetlocks. Scratch the fetlocks. Rub the fetlocks. Jostle the fetlocks. Pasterns. Scratch, rub, jostle. Coronet band. Scratch. Mostly scratch. Rub. Press in between the heel bulbs. They like that. I don't know. I don't know why. Feels good. That's also where I find kind of random. That's where I find kind of random uh gunk. Okay. I'm always on gunk patrol when I'm doing stuff. I find weird stuff. Okay. There's nowhere I won't go. I found something the other day. I find this girth sores. Okay. I find the melanomas. I find slivers. I find rain rot. It's my favorite. Okay. So rub those feet, scratch them, and then do a nice sweep from the top all the way down through the hoof. That feels good. Get all that flowing. Okay. They're gonna like this. They're gonna like it. If your horse has issues with the hind legs, first of all, this fixes it. Chester. Huh. It does. It does. It fixes it. Some take longer than others, but it builds confidence. Okay. Some have a lot of tension built up in their legs. This is going to get rid of it. Okay. Start high, work your way down. Give them breaks if they get nervous about their feet. This is a great way to desensitize brand new baby horses. You should be able to touch all their legs. If your horse has problems with a farrier, we talked about this in our webinar with Wanda and Jeremy. These are the affections that help horses get confidence with their legs, and it helps them feel better. Okay. So if that's something that you can help them with, that's gonna it's gonna improve your chances. Okay. So rub those legs. Ting points are the same deal. So there's 6 ting points all the way around, equally spaced. I find that 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock have a lot of the times have results. And then there's 2 on the inside, 2 on the outside. Take your time to do those and check them out. See what you think. Okay. It's fun. It's fun to do it. Yes, there are all my webinars are you can get absolutely. Yeah. I'll put it in the oh, it's 5:54 already. Jeez Louise. I'll put it in the notes. Actually, I'll put them up. You can search on my public site. Winning your farrier's heart, easing tension for better hoof care is that one. Okay. But just message me if you want a specific one. I try to kind of funnel through them, but I'm not very good at it. Okay. Any questions on this week's homework? It's a good one. Okay. And then next week, we're going to do full leg range of motion. And you guys know how I feel about leg range of motion. It's awesome. Okay. So it's going to be really good. We're going to learn a lot of cool stuff. I am leaving tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to get to videos or not. I think I might be able to. So hang tight. If not, just keep sending them and I will get to them at some point. Okay. And then go from there. Thank you. Appreciate it. I know. I know. Do you know what? Do you know what massage therapists do when they go on vacation? Nails, baby. Nails. I get fake nails. I never get fake nails because I can't. The dirt gets in there, it grosses me out. Grosses me out. So I have 1 week of fake nails. It's going to be amazing. And then what I do is when I come back, I cut them down and I massage for like 1 week with the fake stub nails. Horses love that. But then it gets gross and I can't do it anymore. I have to cut them off. Okay. Before we go, I have a little bit of an announcement. So here are my plans for the next year. Okay. I met with my marketing coach and he has plans for me. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I will let you know what it is. None of this is I mean, it's brainstormed, but it's not in place yet. Okay. But there is going to be an entire series that is going to be started. A lot of you have been asking for some of this stuff. So level 1 is going to be very similar to my course, but I am going to be offering a certification. Okay. So those of you that have been around, you will have the ability to get a certification. Now, certification only means so much. And I'm going to be very clear about that because I don't want people to think, well, Erin certified me, so now I'm a massage therapist. That is not the truth. Actually, although some states are very lax. Washington State, which is a state I'm in, is not lax at all. So it's a nice, pretty piece of paper for those of you in Washington State. So I'm going to have a certification course. I'm going to have a level 2 course, which is going to be a course with live interaction. I'm going to have a level 3 course, and this is where a lot of you have been asking. Anatomy. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be real fun. Okay. We're going to muscle nerd out. It's going to be amazing. Okay. And then I'm going to have a level 4, which is going to be where you come to me or we set up an in-person kind of go through the whole system sort of learning. So that one's in the works. He had a lot of ideas and I was like, yo, we calm down. I can't do that. So it's going to be fun. When I get back, I'm going to start putting this into reality, but we're going to have like a 12-week guided course. Anatomy course is going to be 8 weeks. So yeah, I will have some information coming on that. Some of you, I'll do like these, they're called hand raising emails. So if you're interested, you raise your hand, let me know. I already know some of you are going to be doing it. So I'm excited. It's going to be cool. Okay. So there is your homework. Go forth and conquer and have an amazing week. All right. Take care. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.